Welcome to my crochet channel, or welcome back. I was gone for a while because I was working on a big crochet project that I'm happy to share with you today. This is a cozy fall cardigan that I made using Caron Big Cakes. The specific color that I used is Plum Pudding, but I think it will look great in other Caron Big Cakes colors as well. And if made in a solid color, it also will look good. And I want to say a huge thank you to my viewer Juanita who sent me this yarn. I crocheted my cardigan in size small, but it can be made in any other size as well. I created a very detailed written pattern, which is available in my Etsy shop and Ravelry shop. All the sizes given in this tutorial, as well as in the written pattern, are the US sizes, and all the terminology in this video and in the written pattern are the US crochet terminology. This is my cardigan that I made for myself in size extra small. And this one right here is the one that I made for the purpose of this tutorial. So it's gonna be this one that I will be crocheting in this tutorial. For the purpose of the tutorial, I will use different yarn. This yarn is Impeccable by Loops and Threads. I have some leftover yarn in my stash, and because this is a light color yarn, it's gonna work better for the tutorial. It will be easier to see. It's the same thickness yarn. It's also category 4 as Caron Big Cakes, and I will work with a hook size H 5 millimeters. I crocheted my cardigan in size extra small, and I started with a chain 36 inches long. For all the other sizes, I will put the measurements in the description box below. So I start with a chain. I don't need to count my chains at this point because it's not the specific amount of chains that I need, but a specific length of my starting chain. Here is my chain, and now I'm going to measure it. I take a measuring tape and I measure my chain, and my chain is 24 inches long or 61 centimeters. I'm not making a full size cardigan. I'm going to crochet a smaller size cardigan, much smaller, just to show how this pattern works. But for my actual cardigan, for size extra small, I started with a chain 36 inches long or 92 centimeters. So if you are making a cardigan in size extra small or small, you must start with a chain 36 inches long or 92 centimeters long. For all the other sizes, please look in the description box below and you will see the measurement of how long your starting chain must be. Now I will count my chains to make sure that the total amount of the chains is even. 2, 4, 6, 8. I have 80 chains, so that's even number and I can continue crocheting. But if I ended up with a 81 chain, I would have simply removed one chain. So you need to make sure that the total amount of chains is even. Now I can start the first row, which is very easy. It's going to be a row of double crochets. I make my first double crochet into the fourth chain from the hook. We never count the chain on the hook. We always start counting from the next one. 1, 2, 3, 4. And over here I make a double crochet. And these 3 skipped chains also count as a double crochet. And now I will work a double crochet into each chain across. Here is my first row. I started with 80 chains, so I have 78 double crochets in my first row. The amount of double crochets in this first row is always going to be 2 less than the amount of your starting chains. I turn my work and I start the next row with 3 chains, which count as my first double crochet. Now I'm going to crochet alternating front post double crochet and back post double crochet. So I make a front post double crochet Then I make a back post double crochet, a front post double crochet, and a back post double crochet. And that's how I'm going to continue crocheting this row. And at the end of the row, I finish with a regular double crochet into the last double crochet. I turn my work and I start row 3 with 3 chains. And now I'm going to make a front post double crochet around each front post double crochet and back post double crochet around each back post double crochet. So front post double crochet and then back post double crochet, front post double crochet and a back post double crochet. And at the end of the row, I finish with a regular double crochet into the last double crochet. So now I have 3 rows, and I'm going to crochet one more row the same way, alternating front post double crochet and back post double crochet. And now I have 4 rows in total, and one thing I forgot to do is to mark either row 1 or row 3 as the right side, so I'm gonna do it now. And for the next row, row number 5, I turn my work and I start with 1 chain. And now I'm going to make a single crochet into each stitch across. I start row 6 with 1 chain, and now I'm going to start crocheting the main stitch of my cardigan. Into the first single crochet, I work a single crochet, and into the same stitch 2 half double crochets, 1 and 2. I skip the next 2 single crochets, and into the next single crochet I do the same thing, 1 single crochet and 2 half double crochets, 1, 2. I skip the next 2 single crochets, and into the next single crochet I make a single crochet and 2 half double crochets. And I'll show it one more time. I skip 2 single crochets, and into the next single crochet I make a single crochet and 2 half double crochets, 1, 2. And that's how I'm going to continue crocheting all the way across. Here I crocheted all the way across, and I have 2 stitches left, so I skip 1 stitch and I make a single crochet into the last single crochet. I start row 7 with 1 chain, and into the first single crochet right here I work a single crochet and 2 half double crochets, 1, 2. I skip the next 2 half double crochets, and into the next single crochet right here I work a single crochet and 2 half double crochets, 1, 2. Again, I'm skipping these 2 half double crochets, and over here into the single crochet I work a single crochet and 2 half double crochets, 1, 2. And I'll show it one more time. I'm skipping these 2 half double crochets, and over here into the single crochet I work a single crochet and 2 half double crochets. And that's how I continue crocheting this row. And at the end of the row I skip these 2 half double crochets and I make a single crochet into the last single crochet. And all I need to do now is to continue repeating row number 7. And here I crocheted my piece longer, and now I'm going to measure this length right here. And on my sample piece it's about 11.5 inches or 29 centimeters. However, when you crochet the actual cardigan, the length over here must be 25 inches or 64 centimeters. So once you crochet a piece that measures 25 inches 64 centimeters, you stop, and here is what we're gonna do. We are going to split this piece into 3 parts and finish crocheting each of those 3 parts separately. That will create openings for the arms. You will need 2 markers. So from this side, okay, so I have my piece the right side up, and this is where I'm going to continue next row on the right side. And from the edge over here, I measure 5 inches or 13 centimeters, and I put in my stitch marker. And 5 inches or 13 centimeters only for my sample. For the actual cardigan, when I crocheted my cardigan in the size extra small, I measured 8 inches or 21 centimeter over here. But if you are crocheting your cardigan in a different size, please look in the description box below. I will put there what this length should be and how much you should measure for your size. And I do the same thing on the other side, 5 inches, and I put a stitch marker. And I need to count how many pattern repeats I have over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, just to make sure I have the same on both sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Perfect. And now I'm going to continue crocheting up to this marker. Here I crocheted up to the first stitch marker, so I crocheted 6 pattern repeats, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I finished with a single crochet into this single crochet. And now I turn, and I'm just gonna crochet this way. So I'm gonna crochet in rows, but only these 6 pattern repeats right here. So here I crocheted the first part, and I crocheted for 5 inches or 13 centimeters. Basically, it's the same measure as what I measured over here. And for the actual cardigan, when I was crocheting my cardigan in size extra small, I crocheted this until 8 inches or 21 centimeters in length right here. And for your size, look in the description box below and the measurement will be there. So I'm going to fasten off over here, attach the yarn over here, and continue crocheting this part separately from this stitch marker to this one. And as I fasten off this part right here, I'm going to leave a yarn tail long enough so that later on I can use that yarn tail for making the shoulder seam. Here I crocheted the second middle part, so now you can see that this is gonna be folded like this, and the shoulder seam will be made over here, and this is gonna be the opening for the arm. But I still need to crochet this one, so that's what I'm gonna do. Here I crocheted all the 3 parts, and again on this one, when I fastened off, I left the yarn tail long enough so I can use it for stitching and making the shoulder seam. On this middle part right here, I'm going to hide the yarn tail because I don't need it. And on these shorter parts right here, that's where I have the long yarn tails, which I will use for stitching the shoulder seams. So first I'm going to hide this one, the short one, on the middle part. And now, using a tapestry needle and the mattress stitch, I'm going to make my shoulder seam. And the right side, here I have it marked, so the right side folds inside, and I will be stitching on the wrong side. So I'm gonna stitch from right to left. So here I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pattern repeats, and now I start stitching using the mattress stitch. Here I made my seam, and at the end I just need to do it a couple more times, just like a whip stitch, just at the end, just to secure it, and then I can hide the yarn tail. I can actually just hide it along the seam. And this seam is done, and let's look what it looks like on the right side. And that's what it looks like when I turn it to the right side. And now in the same way I will make this second seam, actually on this side, because I need to stitch on the wrong side. So over here I will stitch it the same way. Now both shoulder seams are made, and we can start working on the sleeves. I'm going to attach yarn over here at the underarm on the bottom part of it. I attach the yarn, and as I crochet, I will crochet over this small piece of yarn so it gets hidden in there. First I make one chain, and over here I will be crocheting in ends of rows, and I will make one single crochet into each end of rows. So 1, and then into the next one 2, and into the next one 3. And as I crochet around, I'm going to count my stitches and write that amount down, so that when I'm working on the second sleeve I need to have the same amount of single crochets in this first round. So I have 3 so far, 4, 5, 6, and I continue crocheting into each end of row, making 1 single crochet and counting them along the way. Here I crocheted around and I have 28 single crochets, and I join with a slip stitch to the first single crochet, and I need to write down that I have 28 single crochets over here. And now I start working on the main stitch pattern. So I start with 1 chain, and into the same single crochet where I joined I work 1 single crochet and 2 half double crochets. I skip the next single crochet, and into the next one I work the same thing again, 1 single crochet and 2 half double crochets. Again I skip 1 single crochet, and into the next one I work a single crochet and 2 half double crochets. And that's how I'm going to continue crocheting all the way around. Here I am at the end of this round, and I join with a slip stitch to the first single crochet. This is my first round, and now I'm going to turn my work, and I will be working in the opposite direction, because this stitch, remember I worked it back and forth, and that's how it needs to be done on the sleeves as well, so it looks the same. And I start this next round with 1 chain, and into this single crochet where I joined I work a single crochet and 2 half double crochets, 1, 2. Then I skip these 2 half double crochets, then I skip these 2 half double crochets, and over here into the next single crochet I work a single crochet and 2 half double crochets. Again, skip the next 2 half double crochets, and into the next single crochet I work a single crochet and 2 half double crochets. So basically it's the same pattern what I worked over here, but on the sleeves I'm going to work in the rounds. And again, at the end of this round I join with a slip stitch to the first single crochet. Then I turn my work and I'm going to crochet in the opposite direction. So far I've crocheted 4 rounds of the sleeve. The first round was a round of single crochets, and then I made 3 rounds of the pattern. Now I turn my work for the next round, and in the next round, round number 5, I'm going to make a decrease because I want my sleeves to be narrower towards the wrist. So I turn my work and I make 1 chain, and I'm going to skip this first single crochet and 2 half double crochets. So basically I'm skipping 1 pattern repeat, and I'm going to continue crocheting over here. And I work a single crochet and 2 half double crochets. And now I continue crocheting this round as before. And at the end of the round I'm going to join over here to the first single crochet of the first pattern repeat. Remember, this was the skipped part right here, so I join over here. And in round number 4 I had 14 of pattern repeats, but now in this round, round number 5, I have 1 less, so I only have 13. But of course it's gonna be a different amount of pattern repeats on your cardigan, because this is just a sample that I'm making, not the real one. And now I'm going to continue crocheting the same way. I will make 4 rounds without decreases, and then 1 round with a decrease. Then again 4 rounds without decreases and 1 round with a decrease, and that way my sleeve will start narrowing. Here I crochet the sleeve, making 4 rounds without decreases and then 1 round with a decrease. When you're working on your cardigan and working on the sleeves, it's a good idea to try it on to see how to adjust the length of your sleeve so it perfectly fits you. Just keep in mind that you will have a cuff that's going to be about 2.5 inches long or 6 centimeters. And now I'll show you how to make the cuff. So the last round was a round with a decrease, and I don't turn. I'm going to continue crocheting on this side. I make 1 chain, and into the same stitch as joining I make 1 single crochet. Over the next 2 half double crochets I work a single crochet decrease. So basically I make 2 single crochets finished together. Into the next single crochet I work a single crochet. Now again, over the next 2 half double crochets I work 2 single crochets finished together. And into the next single crochet I make a single crochet. Again, 2 single crochets finished together over the next 2 half double crochets, and then a single crochet into the next single crochet. And that's how I'm going to continue crocheting around. And at the end of the round I simply join with a slip stitch. For the next round I'm going to make a round of double crochets. I start with 3 chains, and these 3 chains will count as my first double crochet. And now into each stitch around I simply make a double crochet. And at the end of the round I joined with a slip stitch. So now I'm going to make the same ribbon as what I had on the bottom of my cardigan. So first I make 1 chain, and then around these 3 chains of the previous round I work a front post double crochet, and around the next double crochet I work a back post double crochet. And now I alternate making a front post double crochet and a back post double crochet. And that's how I crochet this round. And at the end of the round, I join with a slip stitch to the top of the first front post double crochet. Now again, one chain, and around the front post double crochet of the previous round, I work a front post double crochet. And now I simply make a back post double crochet around each back post double crochet and a front post double crochet around each front post double crochet. Here I finished this round and joined, and I'm gonna leave it like this because this is my small sample cardigan. But on the actual cardigan, on the cuff, I made 3 more rounds, alternating front post double crochet and a back post double crochet. And now in the same way, I will work the second sleeve. Now I have both sleeves done, and the last part that is left to do is working on the front ribbon. So I'm going to attach yarn right here at the bottom. And I will be crocheting into the ends of rows, making 1 single crochet into each end of row. So I start with 1 chain, and into the first end of row I make a single crochet, and into the next one I make a single crochet, in the next one a single crochet, and so on. Here I crocheted along the opening on the front, and now I'm over here. This is gonna be the back part of the neck, and here I make a single crochet into the next single crochet, and then over the next 2 half double crochets I make 2 single crochets finished together. Into the next single crochet I make a single crochet, and over the next 2 half double crochets I make 2 single crochets finished together. And then into the next single crochet I make a single crochet, and over here I continue crocheting over the front edge, and here I just make a single crochet into each end of row. Here I finished this first row. I turn my work and I make 1 chain, and now I'm going to crochet a front post single crochet around each single crochet of the previous row. So here is how I insert the hook, and I work a single crochet, and then around the next single crochet I work a front post single crochet. And that's how I continue crocheting all the way around the opening back to this corner over here. And at the end of this row here I have my last single crochet, and I'm going to make a front post single crochet around it. But then also I'm going to make a regular single crochet right here, the very last stitch. I turn my work and I start with 1 chain, and again I'm going to do the same thing. Around each front post single crochet I'm going to crochet a front post single crochet. So here is how I insert the hook, and I make a single crochet. And that's how I continue crocheting, making a front post single crochet around each stitch all the way across, and then at the end I will make a front post single crochet and also a regular single crochet. Here on my sample cardigan I made 3 rows of front post single crochets, and you can see what this ribbon looks like, but on the actual cardigan I made 8 rows of front post single crochets. And now my cardigan is pretty much finished.